$81.26 that you'll receive without doing anything. For example, if, like me, you choose to cash out on the 20th of the month, you'll receive up to $3,113.78. That's up to $2,232.52 in interest, as you can see in my own account. The VX platform is obviously compatible with PayPal, bank accounts, and Venmo, and as you'd expect, regardless of the method, all transfers are completely secure because the platform uses HTTPS technology, which means all transfers are made with the highest security standards. Once you've logged into the VX platform for the first time, receive your welcome transfer of up to $881.26. Then, amounts will be calculated based on the chosen date and base amount. The VX platform makes transfers based on capital in an interest formula like this. It's a bit technical to explain, so stay focused because this will affect your profits. When you choose to cash out your transfer at the beginning of the month, the platform doesn't have time to accumulate more interest. So it pays you the base amount, as you can see in this image. Now, I know what you're thinking. This isn't serious. Nobody gets automatic money like this. I'll admit that explained in this way, it really sounds like some Sunday night guru trying to stream like the Powell. Sorry to disappoint you, but the VX platform is nothing but a scam. See for yourself. Take David, 39, former night security guard, who now receives $3,119.78 every 20th of the month in his PayPal. Not to mention Margaret, 69, who knows absolutely nothing about computers and technology, yet she cashes out her amount every month like David. And don't forget Ricardo, 48-year-old who was struggling to make ends meet. Since getting his account, he's accumulated a nice nest egg of $14,182.68 in less than 5 months, while being able to take care of his family. And I want to emphasize that Ricardo and many other partners have nothing but a basic phone and aren't computer geniuses. So you can do it too. Since you're about to receive up to $881.26 per month in less than 2 minutes, I want to clarify an important point. You're about to change your life thanks to my invention. So I sincerely want you to take a fresh start right now by clicking the little box below. For example, putting your child in a better school, traveling and spending quality time at the beach, dedicating yourself to projects you never had time to complete, or even better, spending quality time with family. Life is too short to waste it. I remind you that all you have to do is follow these simple steps. Check simple little boxes like this, then confirm your access. Next, you choose the date you want to receive your payments based on your financial situation. Then, select the transfer method. And don't forget to check the little box to remind yourself to take a fresh start in your life. Of course, you're free to do what you want, because, after all, you're a responsible adult. After this simple little procedure, you'll see this confirmation appear on screen. I want to clarify, you can modify the cash out date or transfer method whenever you want, but it's up to you whether or not to receive interest. If you want to see your earnings increase quickly, I recommend withdrawing on the 20th of the month. In any case, the procedure will remain the same regardless of the cash out date you choose. But before going further, let me introduce myself. My name is John. I'm 42 years old and I grew up in the suburbs of Denver. Despite my difficult environment, I was very studious in school, which allowed me to study at one of the most prestigious business schools in the world, Harvard Business School. I was a financial engineer for 9 years for some of the world's largest financial institutions like HSBC, PayPal, Bank of America. For years, I rubbed shoulders with the rich and discovered how they use savers' money to their advantage. They organize cocktail parties and reserve bonuses for themselves, while savers lose their hard-earned retirement. In short, my job consisted of developing financial exchange systems that always work to the advantage of one group at the expense of another. How do you think Russia escapes financial sanctions? Thanks to financial engineers. Except in America, it's financial warfare declared against the people. And you know very well that I'm right. But what's important is that this job allowed me to develop the VX platform in which your access has been pending finalization for several months. So if you want to cash out up to $881.26, I advise you to check this little box as soon as possible. The reason the VX platform pays you money every month is because it's a connection between international fund transfers and your account. A connection I developed through thousands of hours of work and research. To put it simply, the VX platform uses an encrypted transfer system called, in the jargon, neo-transfers. It's an extremely complex transfer method that requires very specific expertise. In summary, neo-transfers use a portion of amounts sent abroad to create continuous interest for a certain period and return it. Have you ever wondered why some transfers take 2 to 3 business days? And the best part is that it exploits SWIFT and IBAN technology transfers that are 100% legal and used by everyone, to the tune of at least $520 billion per year. So, as long as there are international transfers, the VX platform sends you your payments, and you'll make up to $881.26 every month without counting interest for your entire life. Interesting, isn't it? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. When I chose to leave the corporate world, I had a very personal goal in mind. Not being born rich, I was never able to fit in among them. I simply wanted to get out of that toxic environment that openly despises those who weren't born with a silver spoon in their mouth. And of course, to make enough money to take care of my aging parents, especially my father, who has severe Alzheimer's. While my father was forgetting his life, it reminded me what was really important in mine: taking care of the people I love. But since the VX platform became part of my life, my family situation has significantly improved. So much so that a representative from the Financial Regulatory Authority named Thomas came to visit me. And let me tell you, I really didn't appreciate it. In fact, I couldn't own a transfer platform by myself and make transfers to myself. It was absurd. According to Thomas, for the VX platform to remain operational, I must share this revolutionary technology. So, to stay legal, the VX platform can't belong to just one person. That's why I need you. Which brings me to ask you this question. Do you want to cash out up to $881.26 monthly for the rest of your life? If yes, don't forget that you still have one transfer waiting for you. And you could make even more, up to $3,113.78. That's if you decide to cash out on the 20th of the month. But this partnership obligation doesn't really bother me because I've accumulated so much money with the VX platform and my work experience that I can't complain. After all, I'm a financial engineer. Being creative to make money was my job. And since I come from the Denver suburbs, I've lived surrounded by people who haven't been lucky. So, I want to make a small difference. So far, I've managed to lift more than 63 partners out of poverty. And fortunately for you, the VX platform was recently upgraded. It now allows for 9 new partners. And each time a new partner joins the VX platform, it's a new inflow of funds directly taken from international transfers to the VX platform, which generates more interest. So the more partners there are, the more money accumulates for everyone. But to continue operating long-term, I must show Thomas from the regulatory authority that the number of partners is adequate based on the VX platform's capacity. It's thanks to this type of law that the system can extract more income tax, because the more people benefit from the VX platform, the more taxes it collects. So you can thank him. Since the platform generates unlimited profits over time, people from the finance world have approached me to buy the rights. One morning, a former classmate I hadn't seen in 20 years called me to get his hands on it. He saw the VX platform as a way to retire from the stress of his job as a Wall Street trader. So he offered me $1.3 million, which I politely declined, because the VX platform is much more profitable for my pockets than his offer. After all, more than $500 billion exchanged per year is hard to beat. And the beautiful thing is that no investment is necessary. So the VX platform is very accessible because I'm offering it to you for free. But I need 9 new partners to stay legal, and that's where you play your role. Despite being offered a lot for this revolutionary platform, I want to keep control. I can assure you that most rich people like Warren Buffett would be ready to do anything to have it. But I don't belong to their world. And neither do you, probably. That's why you were chosen. So please, finalize your access as soon as possible and cash out up to $881.26 today. Because by not finalizing your access all this time, you've reduced the number of transfers in the VX platform. So you're slowing down the enrichment of all partners and mine. If you don't act, I'll have to permanently delete your access and your pending transfer today. To avoid permanent deletion of your suspended access, I'm not even asking for $1,000. And I certainly won't ask you for $750,000. In fact, the only thing I ask is that you pay your first transfer fee shown below this video, and the other transfer fees will be covered entirely by the VX platform. For my part, I monitor the VX platform every day to ensure you up to $881.26 is transferred to you each month, plus interest. I remind you that Thomas checks the minimum required number of partners every day, so act fast because I've sent reminders to all those who are late. Once you have access to the VX, you'll see this image. The platform will ask you for your cash out date, and you just have to choose. Personally, I'd opt for the 20th of the month because you'll get the base amount plus interest totaling up to $3,113.78. I remind you that the platform is protected by HTTPS technology, so security-wise, you have nothing to fear. Remember that I only 9 new partners today. Thomas